Welcome, language learners from all around the globe, to Listen Up, the podcast that takes you on a captivating voyage through the English language. Whether you've just started your journey or have been navigating the intricacies of English for some time, this podcast is designed to be your trusty compass, guiding you towards fluency and unlocking the wonders of English. I'm your host, Karen, a passionate traveller and an experienced teacher of English as a second language. Join me as we embark on an exciting expedition filled with British history read by a native speaker. Together, we'll conquer the challenges and celebrate the victories of learning English as a foreign language. Each episode of Listen Up will immerse you in a variety of topics, from aspects of British culture, history, and literature. We'll explore useful vocabulary that will empower you to communicate confidently in English. If you want to read along with the podcast, head to my website www.onepawinthesand.com/ESL. The link is in the description. But this podcast isn't just about learning English in isolation. It's about building a community of language learners, supporting one another, and fostering a love of the English language. I encourage you to engage with us through my Patreon page, where you can connect with fellow learners, ask questions, and share your own language journey. So, whether you're sipping tea in Tokyo, walking the streets in Sao Paulo, or studying in a bustling cafe in Berlin, Listen Up is here to accompany you on your quest for English fluency. Join me as we embark on this transformative expedition, where language becomes an adventure and your dreams of effective communication become a reality. Today's episode is called Big Ben. In the middle of London, there's a famous building that keeps track of time and is important to the country's history. It's called Big Ben, and it's been around for more than 150 years. But something surprising happened. The ringing sounds of this old clock were stopped for 4 years, from 2017 to 2021. They stopped because people needed to take care of and fix the clock. This break made a big pause in the city's rhythm, and it made people think about why Big Ben is special and how it was made. Big Ben is a tall tower that stands at the north end of the Palace of Westminster. People often call the tower Big Ben, but it's actually the name of the big bell inside it. The tower is very famous all over the world, and it looks like a work of art from a long time ago. The Big Bell, or Big Ben, is amazing, not just because it's really big, but also because it makes beautiful ringing sounds. These sounds have been heard in London since 1859. The bell is as wide and tall as a big room and weighs a lot, about as much as 13 small cars. When it makes a sound, it plays the musical note E, and you can hear it from all over London. This sound is part of what makes London special. Inside the clock, there are many small parts that work together to make the hands move and the sounds ring. The clock's parts are very interesting. It has a special part called an escapement that is pushed by a heavy pendulum. This makes the clock tick and keeps its time right. The clock also has 4 big faces that are 7 meters across. On this day, 21st of August 2017. The ringing of Big Ben stopped. This was a big decision because it had never happened before. The reason was that the tower and the clock needed fixing. The tower was getting old and broken, and the clock's parts needed to be checked and fixed. People were worried about the tower falling apart, so they decided to stop the ringing for a while. Some people didn't like this decision because they thought Big Ben was really important and the ringing was part of London's history. But the people who wanted to keep Big Ben safe won the argument, and the ringing stopped at noon. For 4 years, a group of engineers and craftsmen worked really hard to fix the tower and the clock. They fixed the stones on the tower and the small parts inside the clock. They also added new things to help the clock keep time better. Finally, the ringing of Big Ben started again on November 9th, 2021. This was a big deal and people were very happy. Fixing the tower and the clock didn't just help them work better, but it also made sure they would stay a special part of London for a long time. As Big Ben's ringing started again, it reminded everyone that even things that are really old and famous need to be taken care of so they don't disappear. We have to commit to taking care of our treasures from the past. And that wraps up another episode of Listen Up. I hope you enjoyed learning about my topic today and practicing your English. Remember, the exploration doesn't have to end here. If you have any lingering questions or want to continue the conversation, I've got some great opportunities for you. First off, I offer private lessons for those of you eager to expand your knowledge further, whether it's practicing today's subject or exploring other topics. I'm here to guide you on your English journey. Reach out to me through my website or social media platforms, and let's embark on a personalised learning experience together. I have been involved with training people for more than 10 years. I've been teaching English as a second language for over a year, in which time I have taught over 500 students, many of whom are regulars. But wait, there's more. If you're a devoted fan of Listen Up and want to show your support, consider joining our Patreon community. Your contribution directly helps us bring you more episodes and maintain the quality of our show. Your support truly means the world to me, and we couldn't continue this podcast without you. So whether you choose private lessons or Patreon, or both, I look forward to staying connected and exploring the fascinating realms of English as a second language together. Thank you once again for joining us on Listen Up. Until next time, keep practicing.